This is on since April. So when it's not that the tariff is coming, it's on. Have any of you felt any of it? Seriously.
That sound you hear is the crippling silence of a man sent to do Trump's bidding, only to realize Americans aren't happy with the way Trump is handling our economy. CNBC just had a recent supply chain survey that's bad news for the American consumer. They said that they are not seeing a restart to importing of goods as much as they would like after the fact that Trump lowered the tariffs to 30%. The fact is right now in May, usually orders are put in for the holiday season because it takes months to place the order, make the order, ship the order. And so right now is when these retailers order for the holiday season. And that is way down. They said 59% said they are not seeing a restart in holiday orders. And 53% say that any of the activity they're seeing are holiday orders. The fact is a lot less goods are still coming in because of the fact that the tariff, and then also the fact that because of the tariffs, there's a fear of a recession. And so the consumer is actually now more cautious and spending less. And as a result of that, we're going to see, according to this survey, we're going to see the retailers believe prices are going to go up and we're going to see empty shelves because of the fact that of all of these tariffs, this is what they're seeing right now.
The retail giant Target is one of the victims of Donald Trump's economic policies. CNBC is reporting Target on Wednesday cut its full year sales outlook as executives said weaker discretionary spending, consumer uncertainty about tariffs, and backlash to the company's rollback of key diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts hurt its business.
All of this comes after Trump warned Walmart to eat the tariffs, as he put it. That sounds to me like price controls, isn't it?
It is. And the key word that the Secretary of the Treasury put out there was some of the tariffs will be, they'll absorb, i.e. they're going to have to pass them on, as any business would. They got mad at Amazon for saying they'd put on your bill what the tariff component is. Tariff is a sales tax. And that's why the quicker they get this thing out of the way, the better, because it is weighing on decisions, weighing on prices. And by golly, when Christmas comes around and you can't get the doll, that may not be much concern in Washington, but it is concern to people seeing that empty Christmas tree.
Also, if you do wonder if there was a Grinch that stole Christmas, it seems like it is Trump, because right now they are planning for the holiday season. And it's not just the fact that these retailers and the survey told CNBC. We've also seen announcements in the news that Walmart says they are going to be raising prices. Best Buy says they're going to be raising prices. Mattel is going to be raising prices. Amazon, most of the people on Amazon are probably going to be raising prices, those third-party sellers. Because the fact is, even though Trump told his people during the election that the countries that shipped and made the goods are the ones that pay, now we know the people who are going to be paying the tariffs, even if they can even get the good, which right now seems a lot of the goods won't even make it to the shelves, but the ones that will make it to the shelves are going to be more expensive. One, because they have these tariffs that they are now going to have to pass on to us because they're not going to absorb it. These corporations are not going to absorb these tariffs. And two, because you're going to have a lot less good, and just basic supply and demand of economics is also going to raise the price of those goods. This survey is showing this is only going to get worse.
Look, the downgrade of our credit rating is coming because Donald Trump has made a colossal error with this trade war. We've talked about this before, but the largest holders of American bonds have been quietly selling them off and decoupling from this country. Japan and China hold a tremendous amount of our bond traffic, and it's dying down because they've decided we're not a safe play anymore. The harm of that downgrade will affect, as you correctly say, people on their mortgage rates, their credit cards, whether they want to buy something. It's going to also affect scarcity in the market. This is a real problem for this country. And the ironic thing is Donald Trump has tweets in his past 10 years ago screeching about the credit rating going down if there wasn't a budget deal and things like that. And now they just sort of shrug it off. I'm sorry, but political and mathematical physics are real, and financial physics is real. This is going to cause damage to this country, and it is directly and solely the responsibility of Donald Trump and this unbelievably corrupt and irresponsible trade war that he's engaged in. And all these gifts, by the way, all these things that have been promised, I like to think of them as more of concepts of investments rather than investments. This is a PR stunt. This is a back of the envelope, one-line press release. Oh, yeah, we'll give you $1 trillion. Let's see what happens when the actual rubber hits the road.
Right.
Because there's many a slip betwixt the cup and the lip, as my grandmother would have said. And I don't believe that any of these people are serious in the long range. They're serious about playing Trump in the short term. Despite the fact that we have only begun to see the effects that Trump has on this economy, the American voter is showing their displeasure, showing the displeasure in the polling. He's got the worst polling in modern history for a president. It's also showing in all of the elections. The New York State Senate just had a huge upset where the Democrat won in an area that Trump had won by 55 points in November. That kind of huge swing is as a result. People are seeing in real time the effects of what's happening with the tariffs and the mishandling of the economy. But Howard Lutnick goes out on stage and asks the public. I mean, he's the same one. He is our commerce secretary. He's the one who's supposed to be handling the commerce for the American consumer. We've already heard him once say that his grandmother wouldn't notice if the Social Security check didn't show up in the mail, that only a fraudster was. So we see how out of touch he is. But now he goes on stage and he asks the audience whether or not they are noticing the fact that there's a 10% price hike. I mean, he just admits it, but he thinks this is not a big deal. It's only 10%. I mean, are you even feeling it? He asks the audience. And of course they come out and they say, yes, they are feeling it. Everything in the world's got 10%. You go to the store now, are you feeling the pain? No. Why not? Because there is no pain. Because what happens is the sellers, the producers, the sellers, and the currencies change, and the price effectively mostly goes away. I'm not, what's the inflation rate in America? 2% odd? Okay. 2% odd. But seriously, for the month of May, every product in the world's got 10% on it right now. With no exceptions, no exclusions. That we have 25% on cars and that are coming in from out. Do any of you feel anything? Because I want you to understand, in the month of May, the United States of America is going to take in $35 billion towards our deficit of tariff revenue in the month of May.
And consumers will feel that.
Well, I said it's already on. This is on since April. So when it's not that the tariff is coming, it's on. Have any of you felt any of it? Seriously. He shouldn't be shocked by this because their wages, our wages, aren't going up by 10%. So if the cost of the things that you buy go up by 10%, but your income doesn't go up by 10% and you're not a billionaire, you're going to notice that. And the fact that he's in charge of our commerce and he's so out of touch that he thinks it's not a big deal for prices to be raised by 10% is a problem. But it's not just a problem. It's a reflection of the priorities of the Trump administration.
Personally, and I don't like making forecasts, stuff like that. I am not a buyer of credit today. Okay, I think credit today is a bad risk. I think that people who haven't been through major downturns are missing the point about what can happen in credit. And then there will be a huge opportunity for this company too. That's the other thing about downturns. In a downturn, my experience has always been the good companies benefit from a downturn. Not your short-term profits, but your long-term company, and you earn your stripes with your clients in a downturn. I look at the things being up, including trade in general, because not just tariffs, is creating a lot of risk out there, and that we should be prepared for it. My own view is where people feel pretty good because you haven't seen an effect of tariffs. The market came down 10%. It's back up 10%. I think that's an extraordinary amount of complacency. That's my own view. That when I've seen all these things adding up that are on the fringes of extreme kind of thing, I don't think we could predict the outcome. And I think the chance of inflation going up and stagflation is a little bit higher than other people think.
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.